Hello friends, hello. This is another of Adam Perrott's Faves in 5. That is sign language for F. That's just 5, count them. That's going to catch on, it's going to be a thing people do. Yo, you see the yesterday? Yeah, I saw the yesterday. That kid's great. Give him his own show. Today's Fave in 5, indeed this week's Fave in 5, is Alfonso Bonzo by Andrew Davies. Now, if you are of my age, I am 28, born in 1982, then you will know, probably be aware of this, if you're aware of it at all, as a children's BBC series. A fascinating series. I loved it. It was a great TV show of the same name, Alfonso Bonzo. Round about the early 90s it was on. This book was first published in 86. Now I must have read it as a library book because I did read it. I remember reading it, but I didn't have a copy. I bought this in 2000. Well, this came out in 2006, a reprint, and I read it at a bookshop I used to work at. Yeah, and I put it right back on the shelves. Have that. And I bought this just recently off Amazon because I wanted a copy of it because it's a great book. And it's very faithful to the television series. It's all about a young boy called Billy Webb. Very, very ordinary boy. And I do like stories that start off with just completely ordinary lads. I'm not very fond of prophecy and, the chosen one kind of angle on stuff. I think it takes a lot of the adventure out of it because ultimately you know that this person's got to succeed because they've been destined to do so. But this is just about a very ordinary lad. He was not very particularly clever, not particularly popular, keeps his head down, just wants to get through. You know, quiet lad, just wants to get through and be ignored, really. But the one thing he excels at is swapping stuff, which is great because I remember swaps. I used to swap stuff all the time as a kid. I had a couple of mates that I'd always be swapping stuff with, and it was a great thing to do. And he's a great swapper. Even if he doesn't particularly want something, he'll make the swap because he knows it's a good swap. He knows a good swap when he sees one, and so he collects loads of things. He's got a room full of great swaps that every day he'll go to school with his pockets full, and he'll come back, with some good swaps done that day. And one morning in fact, when the rest of his household is sleeping, there's a knock on his door. That's what a knock sounds like. And there's a very finely dressed young man there, an Italian exchange student called Alfonso Bonzo. And Alfonso says he's heard of Billy Webb's legendary swapping skills and wonders if he'd like to do some swaps. But he's very dubious about this because he's not a stupid young man. He's very dubious about this, but Alfonso's natural charm and this cracking smile he's got make him think, well, maybe I should just try one swap. And the first swap is for a bag, Alfonso's beautiful leather bag with a golden clasp for Billy's ratty old Tipex broken bag. And so Billy says, okay, yeah, let's make the swap. So he's about to exchange all the stuff over, and he says, no, just a straight swap for a swap. So he goes, okay, and swaps it. He later realises when he gets to school that his mouse project due that day was in his old bag that he swapped. Oh no! However, he hears a sound coming from Alfonso's bag. Sounds like a kind of fax machine. That's how old the book is. A fax machine kind of working, printing something off. And he opens the bag. Magically, it comes open then. And this fabulous new mouse project comes spilling out. Which he presents to the whole of the class, and then some actual mice come out of the bag and start doing some tricks, much to everybody's amazement. And the book kind of follows suit. Alfonso clearly is no ordinary guy. There are some great swaps. They swap dogs for a day. They swap TVs. It's a TV that Billy can go into, and then it starts happening all over the house. But as the swaps go along, we see more and more of Alfonso's power, and he actually starts to cut a far more sinister figure than at first, where he's quite cheeky and charming, but mischievous. He starts to cut a very sinister figure towards the end. The swaps start getting more and more higher stake, and Billy is never really comfortable with it, and towards the end he actually goes a bit, almost like depressed over it. It starts to really get to him. Until there's one final swap offered that could spell the end for Billy Webb. But again, it's quite an ambiguous ending that you're left with now, and it is quite a stark, quite bleak ending that makes you feel a little bit, takes you to not the natural kind of place you'd think from reading a kids' book. It's the power of the kids' book there, and Andrew Davies hasn't shied away from giving it a bit of a bleak ending. Again, though, it's left quite ambiguous, which I really do like. Nowadays, I think you've got to have, what with the internet and everyone, you can ask your favourite author questions, you can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can email them, and you'll get an answer right back. This was written in a time when that wasn't around, so you could write a letter. So I think that gave authors more license to be ambiguous. It's just one of my theories, it might not pan out. But the ending to this, yeah, quite bleak and ambiguous, but a great book. Good book for confident readers, not too many, that's kind of the word print, words per page. You can still get these on Amazon quite cheap. I do recommend it, very good book. Alfonso Bonzo by Andrew Davies. Thanks for tuning in to this Fave in 5. See you on the flip side. Take care.